All right. All right. Boom, shalaka laka. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 20,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance. Yeah, well, let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. So nice to see you. How you doing? Hey, do you want to come to a party? I'm throwing a party in Nashville, Tennessee in 22 days. Now, I warned you about 60 days ago. But anyways, we're getting close. I'm getting excited. Let's have a cocktail. What do you prefer? Manhattan? Old-fashioned? Maybe you like a vodka martini, or maybe you're just like, I'm a wine person. Chardonnay? Chateauneuf de Pape? Or maybe you're like, hey, I don't drink alcohol. Give me a sparkling water or a coffee. Yeah, you bet. And how about a gourmet 4-course meal too? Nashville, Tennessee, coming up in 22 days. I want you to be there. investorbootcamp.com/party. Yeah, investorbootcamp.com/party. Coolio. Hey, look, in the description below the video, you will see links to resources that may be of value to you. Many are free. Lucas Scotch, yeah. You know, they also, Lucas, they have some good bourbons there because it's Tennessee, so they have Tennessee whiskeys and bourbons. I think, yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking on the way home, I'm going to stop at the, what do you call that? I don't drink it very often. I have Johnny Walker stuck in my mind. Jack Daniels. I might stop off at Jack Daniels on the way home and go check out the factory. But anyways, hey guys, in the description below the video, here's today's video. Hi, me. Hi. Cool. Okay. A link to a trustworthy and ethical foreign exchange broker. Tradersway.com. 88 hours of training videos for $88. Day trading, swing trading, fundamental analysis, monetary policy, macroeconomics, oil trading, trader psychology. There's a lot in there, and they're good. How about a free 90-minute lecture focused on trading stocks? How about some feedback on your technical analysis skills? Fast and free. Okay? I got a big bill yesterday because it cost me money to do all this for you. That cost me money. I have no monetization. I built it, and it cost me money to run. It's expensive, and it's completely, totally free. You should use it. 90-minute lecture on fundamental analysis. Okay, I wrote a book. Here's a free Forex training course. It's 4 lessons, about 20 to 25 minutes per lesson. So almost 2 hours. Yeah, cool. And while you're there, would you please click the thumbs up button? Cool. So guys, come to the party. Please RSVP. Okay. Oh, here's Trader's Way. Hey, do you know what an ECN is, by the way? It's a business model in which you click a button on your trading platform that says buy or sell, and then they execute it automatically into the interbanking system. Straight through processing. Which means they have a business model in which they don't trade against you. Yeah, interesting, right? All right. Boo, 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 boo. But Lucas, have you tried George Dickel bourbon? It's in Tennessee, not far from the Jack Daniels. So obviously all the Scots got to that part of America and stopped. They didn't need to go any further. The water is purely filtered by all the stone nearby. So it's got perfect water, and that's why they make a lot of whiskey there. I bought this. So I went there, and they make, these bourbon, and you can find it most places around here anyways. So I just thought it was a big operation. I went to visit them really like literally the week that COVID was shutting down everything. I was probably the last person there. But nonetheless, I went there because they had just won the Whiskey Advocate Whiskey of the Year award out of all the whiskeys in the world. So I get there, there's 30 employees, Lucas, 30, including the warehouse workers and stuff. It's a very old and very small operation. And it's in the absolute middle of nowhere. There's a old broken down, pre-Civil War town nearby, but there's old buildings, but like no businesses. And, and then there's this little tucked away next to a little creek, right? They're making this whiskey and it's great. So anyways, I grew an affinity toward it. And so they obviously, if they got Whiskey of the Year, they make good whiskey. So my recent trip to Cuba, I brought some a very particular type of George Dickel called bottled and bond, which means legally they actually made their whiskey. See, most places in America, the whiskey is made by some company in Indiana or something, and just makes whiskey for other people. And then all the other companies, they just slap a label on a bottle and sell it to you. Meanwhile, it's made by some other company. So they actually made their own, and it's legal. Bottled and bond means everything all the way to the storage and aging is done by them. Everything, right? So anyway, so I took a bottle to Cuba and I sat down with the senior executives of Cohiba Cigars in the Cohiba factory. And we just sat there and we downed a bottle of this bottle and bond that I brought as a gift. And no joke, the head of production for Cohiba, the guy in charge of making all the cigars, he's like this, and he's a whiskey fan, right? And so he said on my previous time when I met with him, he said, he was a whiskey and bourbon fan. So I brought this with me, right? And we drank it, and he's like, oh my God. Well, he didn't say oh my God, but he's like, this is the best pairing of whiskey and cigar I've ever had in my entire life. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, hey, I think they'll have it there, Lucas. I think they'll have it there. Anyways, cool. Come to the party, everybody. It's a party. It's fun. All right, so let's get going. Let's see what you're up to. Did everyone answer the poll? No. Would you please answer the poll? Let me know what you want me to cover. Can we do some nat gas? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, we're at support. You can't sell it. You might want to buy it. Okay. By the way, Lucas, if you like scotch, you should try a Manhattan or an old fashioned, because it's basically, a splash of vermouth and some bitters. It's just a little extra. It's just a little tweak. Okay. Sky Killer says Japanese whiskey. Yeah, my first year at Harvard, where I had to move into the dorms, I built a bar in my dorm, and so I rented a refrigerator / freezer. So I made whiskey balls, and I had Japanese whiskey, and I bought a couple of bottles of nice red wine and stuff like that, and had it all set up. And then, of course, a small humidor full of cigars. So, let's just say it was a good first year. Something about going to university in your 40s, you get to do everything you wanted to do but couldn't afford when you were 20. So it was good. I had it decked out. So anyways, going back to this, guys, look, you can't sell it, and therefore you might want to buy it. And it looks like sort of a rangy. Okay, I can't tell you, if it's going to do this, but I can tell you can't sell it now. So you'd have to wait for a pullback and then drop. But that's a higher risk trade as well. And if you're going to be bold in your trading, you would have been bold here, or you would have been bold here. This is just reckless and dangerous. Okay. Oh, right on, Sky Killer. Well, cigars are very often less than 100 grand, but yeah. 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 No, I got you. No, that's cool. On my wedding, I had smuggled in Cuban cigars, a whole box of Romeo y Julietas. I proposed to my wife in Paris, and so while I was in Paris, she did say yes. So I bought a full box of Cuban cigars, and then I won't tell you my secrets, but nonetheless, I got them home. Sounds terrible. Yeah, I couldn't walk for a week, but yeah, I got them home. Yeah. So anyways, I got the Cuban cigars home, and then my wedding in San Francisco on a spring evening. It was freezing cold, right? But we were outside, my family and friends, and I opened, had that full box of Cuban cigars, and we ended up outside smoking cigars like the Wayne do. And it was fun. It was really cool. For many people, it was their first cigar. Puffing on a nice Cuban cigar. 100 grand in Portugal is really rich. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. So there you go. There's what you do technically. it does seem to want to head down. It's just way too late to do something about it now. So you're either a bull or you're waiting for a pullback. Really, I suppose what you're going to do as a bear is something like that. But it's just fabulously way too late to be a bear at this price. I mean, look, yes, you can sell it at the 21, take it down, and you'll be fine. You'll probably make money. It's not good trading. Okay. Okay, let's see what you guys are interested in. Yes, Guy Killer. Yeah, at that age, I had a similar goal. 10 grand a month was a goal. For sure. That's a significant target. Yeah. And I remember hitting it and just being ecstatic. Just absolutely ecstatic. Okay. Gold. Okay. Did you, Kenan, did you watch my live stream yet? Right? In the past? My suggestion yesterday was buy a dip into here and have it go up. So, well on the way. Highlander, how did I celebrate? I was on my way to a carnival party. Right? Brazilian carnival party in San Francisco. And on the way, I stopped and I bought a BMW. Yep. Just knocked it out. Walked onto the car lot. I said, this is how much money I got. And they're like, these 5 cars over here. I looked at, nope. That one looks nice. Seafoam green with sand interior. I'm like, cool, can I take it for a drive? He's like, sure. Took it out on the freeway, went one exit, came back. I'll do it. Let's go. Bada bing, bada boom. Do you want the $700 carpets? No, thank you. And then brum, brum, and off, boom, off to the party. Sweet. Felt like a king, man. Felt like a king. Felt like a king. Oh, yeah. All right. So anyways, yeah, that's all in play, fellas. All in play. Highlander says, hold on to that feeling. Yes. No, I have not forgotten my roots at all, Highlander, at all. I have not forgotten my roots at all. Yeah. All right, so let's take a look. Yens, yes. Pound. I'm glad you guys picked yens. But let's look at some of these commodities first. Richard says, when you first ran into me, you had to get 1,000 pips a month. Yeah, for sure. Sky Killer says cars and all are very nice. Well, they're a waste of money. But I believe giving back to the family and stuff is probably what makes us... Yeah, I agree with that. No, I agree with that, Sky Killers. Cars are stupid. Yeah, no. I totally agree with that statement for sure. Okay, so we're getting very, very high. This is working really, really well. We're way out of position. Next line in the sand for me is just above us at, basically 4,600. And the analogy that I've been using is like, this is like a ballerina standing on her tippy toes with a bowling ball held above her head. Bowling ball's getting heavy. Her legs are quivering. Yeah, that's a big price for this asset to get here. Richard says cars are a symbol of wealth. Yeah. Sure does feel nice to drive around in BMW. Yeah, that's true. But, as everyone with money will tell you, it doesn't really bring you happiness. It is cool, though. It is cool, but it's not important. So I got a fancy watch on. Doesn't make me happy. It's cool. Sometimes you like to collect things and stuff, but I'm pretty prudent. I think I'm prudent. So yeah, I can tell you they're cool, and there's some psychological level to stuff like, your first nice car, your first Rolex, that kind of stuff, right? But, other than that, it's very fleeting. Yeah. And I'll probably sell most of this stuff, right? Like I got this sitting right here. Right. I have this Tiffany watch. I don't know how long I've owned it. I have the original box, and inside that, the original box. And inside that, I actually have the original receipt. And then I open this, and there's the watch, and it's a nice Tiffany watch, gold, half gold, half stainless steel, very cool. Nice, right? Tiffany & Co. There it is. Does it bring me happiness? No, actually, I've forgotten I had it. Now it just sits doing nothing. I have all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to sell it and put it in my retirement account. I think I'd rather just have it in my retirement account. That'll make me happier. Right? I mean, it's an interesting concept. In your retirement account, let's say you put in $50,000 a year, and for that, every year you make $5,000. So in 10 years, you've made $50,000 by putting $50,000 a year aside. Every 10 years, now you have $50,000 in free money. What would make me happier when I'm 70? To go to a nice restaurant once in a while and have a nice steak dinner and have a nice glass of wine and share a beautiful moment with my beautiful young wife. Roughly my age, not that I got a new young wife. That didn't come out right. But, those types of experience of being able to be with my lifelong spouse and see our children grow up and having worked like a dirty dog for all those years to just sit back and have a moment and know that the whole thing was paid for by, I don't know, my Tiffany watch that I gave up, Yeah, there's something cool about that. Or charity, right? So I'm running my my retirement account like an endowment. So the actual cool part, going back to like what Skykiller was saying, when I'm dead, my money will still be alive. And my money will be supporting my family, but also my, how do you say it? You know, your charities, your values, I suppose. It'll be supporting my values forever. That's cool. That's the cool thing about money. It can outlive you. Okay. Zeno says, what? I'd love to look at this chart and understand what I'm looking at. Oh, well, why don't we do a breakdown? Why don't we do a breakdown? I have stochastics at the bottom here. I don't care about that. It was from a previous discussion. What else? Let me go to a daily. Let me get rid of that channel, I suppose. Well, let's get rid of this. I don't need a Fibonacci here. In fact, why don't I just reload this whole thing? Let's go to a simple template. Cool. So simple it doesn't update. There we go. All right, here's a very simple template. Looking at the S&P 500. And one of the things that this chart template is doing is it's measuring the trend. Two standard deviations, one standard deviation, one standard deviation, two standard deviations. Now, it's actually not doing that. That's not actually right. I'm doing a combination of different things, but let's just play with that idea. Base case, worst case, base case, best case, okay? Now, before I can do those calculations, I have to calculate the average and then right? The average and the price, the average price and the slope of the average price. So here's what I'm really just trying to do, Zeno. Is this bullish or bearish? I'm answering a question, right? Oh, statistically speaking, this is bullish. So what it's doing here is, I mentioned slope. Okay? The rise over the run. Okay? Now you might, where's my drawing tool? You might do it this way, you know, rise over run. You get the same calculation, okay? That we call that slope. So that is important, and slope is denoted by M. M equals rise over, literally, it's divided by the run. Okay, the next thing is you want to look at variance. How far from the average price does price tend to go before it returns back to the average price? Okay, so that's variance. How far does price deviate from the average price? The third one is the square root of the variance, and that's the standard deviation. So you standardize it, and then you take the standardize, and then you slope it through a linear, not regression, a linear projection. Okay, so you have the standard deviation, so one standard deviation, two standard deviation, one standard deviation, two standard deviation. Then you do a linear projection based on the slope, so you just take the line and create the slope from that point. And there's the line from the beginning, and then you adjust it to the slope. And you can do this forever. One standard deviation over time on a slope. And the slope is determined by the rise over the run. Okay, so anyways, we're doing all this stuff, right, Zeno? What are we trying to say? Are we a bull or a bear? Well, statistically speaking, it's bullish. Okay. Now, that's all fancy pants stuff. Okay. With price action, you notice this high is higher than the previous highs. So when you find yourself up here and you're a bull, Zeno, you say, if I notice a higher high, then if I'm a bull, I want to buy a higher low. Where using price action is should you consider looking to buy? Where would the higher low form? And what you do is you look at the old resistance, and it's a guide to where support is likely to be. So it answers the question, once you see a higher high, where do you buy? At the higher low. Where's the higher low to be? We call this a role reversal. What used to be resistance, okay, resistance, 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 in the future becomes support. Support. But you have to have determined whether you're a bull or not. Let me adjust these pivot points because this is going back quite a bit. But nonetheless, well, you know what? We can leave it here. If you were a buyer of this asset, which is the S&P 500 last year, your target this year is 5,000. Okay? This chart, if you read it like that, it means the conservative target is right here. So could we go from 4,600 all the way to 5,000 by the end of the year? Well, yeah, that's what we thought November of last year, really. Cool. No, what I thought was going to happen was we'd have a bigger down, then we'd have an up, and then we'd have starting, really, I think it was July 1st, which I guess is the top. So a long and flat and low slope. And then earlier in the year, meaning this, turn up. So I thought the year would look kind of like this. Okay. And, oops. And it, was somewhat right. And then a lot more volatile, but just ever so slightly more bullish than I thought. I didn't think we'd make such a big high. I thought we would make a high. I thought we'd make that move. And then on that peak, yes, we discussed all of that. Then I thought it would come back and then it would rally up faster and then soon have a down. And so I don't believe I was horribly wrong, but it is more bullish than I thought. But the bullishness took longer than I thought. Okay. Zeno, are you still with me, by the way? I don't know if I'm talking to a ghost. Okay, good. Well, I'll continue. All right. diving in a little further, and by the way, Zeno, I can teach you all this for $88 at investorbootcamp.com. It's for a full year, 88 hours of training. But this move here predicts this target. Not even joking. You would know that weeks in advance. Now, this entry here predicts this zone as a target. Now we're above that zone. It's dangerous. By definition, this is overbought. And the most you could possibly even wish for, and you're sort of greedy to even wish for it, is this number right here. But the higher this goes, the more likely it's going to fall. This could do one of these things. That's what the chart says. It's not my opinion. Okay, so those are monthly pivot points. The only thing I have here is moving averages, monthly pivot points, and all that kind of stuff. Now, these moving averages are lagging, but it tells you you are definitely bullish. Okay? But what being way up here suggests more and more probability of profit taking. Now, if you see the actual technical high, it's at this M5. I usually don't care about M5. I never care about M5. But in that case, though, a major double top, is it possible market participants exit somewhere up in that zone, whether it's this or slightly higher or not quite? Is there a reasonable probability of profit taking by all the bulls? I'm not talking about bear selling. I'm just talking about locking in profits. Do you think we're in the right price zone for that? Then you should anticipate, as we go higher, more and more likely profit taking. Now, using the techniques I teach in the course, you could anticipate something like this in December. Okay. So we call that OOP to the CPP. Okay. Yeah. By the way, there's something I can share with you now. It's now a fact. Okay. Many of you are subscribers to QuantBox. And you have analytical tools that are amazing. Okay. So you can see institutional positioning and retail positioning. And you can see how markets are moving on the long term, but also in the very short term. And you can see what's in position and what's out of position. You can measure real-time sentiment. Oops. I must have clicked that. That's interesting. It's stuck on there. There we go. Real-time market sentiment, real-time, by looking at yields and the dollar index and the Japanese yen, the S&P 500, VIX, and gold. It's doing this on real-time on multiple time frames. And the amount of data is just absolutely, totally extraordinary. The problem is there's so much information. Right now, it's like, uh-oh, Japanese yen and dollar are probably going to get strong today. Be careful. Okay, so it's easy to read, but still, on the long run, it can be overwhelming. So we launched a new feature. Last week, I asked subscribers to QuantBox, do they want me to build an artificial intelligence to sit and watch all of this in real time? And then report back when things change. What if euro dollar goes from neutral to bullish? Would you like to know? So the AI is going to watch all of these things, actually thousands of tables. And when it sees an important change, it'll report to you instantly by sending you a text message. Hey, Richard, euro dollar just went bullish. And it'll actually tell you why. Why? Change in COT data or something. Or whatever. A change in technical analysis. It'll tell you why it sent you the alert. It'll tell you what it noticed. For example, and many of you guys probably don't even use this, it'll use this tool to analyze it for you. This is one tool it'll watch. Okay? And this is actually the brain of QuantBox. It's showing you for this asset, right? So we can do, I don't know, S&P 500. This is sort of a glimpse into its brain. And it's showing you when it's blue, it's bullish. When it's red, it's bearish. When it's blue, it's bullish. And so this one thing it could watch is like right in here. Imagine right in here, you get a text message and say, oh, S&P 500 is bearish. Okay, this is the second week of August. Lock in profits, protect your assets, hedge, go to cash, short sell. Well, those are all your decisions. But it very quickly went bearish in the middle of August. And then right here, okay, right around the 1st of November, QuantBox went bullish on the S&P 500. It would send you a message. Hey, Richard, S&P 500 is now bullish. And then it'll tell you why. Like, I don't know why. This doesn't tell me why. So QuantBox would be actually watching, for example, this page too. Well, of course, it's doing it all at the same time. Why did it go bullish? And it would tell you. Maybe it was seasonality. Maybe it was technical analysis. But the score went up. Okay? And it'll tell you why. Okay? So anyways, that's being developed right now. How cool is that, huh? To watch millions of data points on 39 assets on multiple time frames and alerting you of when something important has changed. And then linking you back to the data so you can investigate further. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? We've also added Bitcoin. Going back to Zeno's question, you see Zeno? It's analyzing the slope and the deviation. Yeah, very cool. So today, right now, Bitcoin's at 37,130, but it's neutral. And it's reading the Commitment of Traders report. I mean, that's the other thing, too, that I realize many of you really love the COT report, but often it's confusing, right? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Is it bullish? So it's the new AI, which I think I'll name Aiden. I think all my AIs are going to be named Aiden. So Aiden will watch week by week, not just the positioning of institutional investors, but the flow. So the Japanese stock market got a massive influx of capital. Money went in to the Nikkei. Money went into euro. Money went into silver. Money went into dollar. But where did the money come from? It came out of platinum. It came out of Swiss franc. It came out of NASDAQ. It came out of pound. It came out of Kiwi. Well, so should you buy Kiwi? Should you buy pound? No. Should you sell Swissy? Yeah, maybe, huh? Okay. So now you could look and open up your Swiss franc charts and see if there's any trades that you like technically suggesting that you sell the Swiss franc. So now you would go to here and say, oh, okay, is there anything I want to go long? Okay, so you go to a 4-hour chart. And, okay, cool. Okay, somebody is selling the Swiss franc, which means is they're helping this go up. So you might be able to thread together a narrative of, you know, maybe you're buying dips. Maybe you want to buy a dip, huh? All right, see you, Zeno. Subscribe before you leave. Okay. So anyways, so now these go on your alert lists. Maybe not instant buys. There's not a lot that we actually want to buy. Okay. But at least you're like, traders are selling Swiss franc. Good to know. GDK. Good to know. So this AI service is going to be $1 a day. We're integrating Twilio right now. Twilio is the service that will send the text message to your phone. One of the things I've asked and I haven't even talked about this before, but I asked the developers to consider ways that the AI that we build can do something like read the economic calendar. So we are improving this calendar. It's quite flawed and it makes me mad. So it's going to improve. That is factual. Okay, we've already discussed it. But then I've asked the team, I'm like, I want the AI to read the calendar, and maybe, like, if it's going to send us a text message anyways, maybe we add, and, you know, there's a limitation to what you can put into a text, but the alerts are going to be so few words and so simple that there will be sort of extra text. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if it also then updated you and said, oh, by the way, okay, Canadian CPI came out 3.6. It was 3.9. Just like a little heads up. Am I right in that thinking, guys? Would you like something like that? Or if it's like, hey, something changed in QuantBox. Here it is. Oh, and by the way, the other things that had just happened, it was like, here's a little update on the news report. And by the way, in 2 hours, get ready for existing home sales. Just a little, hey, psst, hey, in 2 hours, right? This just happened. This is on deck. Yeah? Am I right on that? Yes. Yes, it's, yeah, candlestick data. Yeah. And also, like, Lucas, tradeplans.ai. Like, I want you to, like, the beast that I've built. All right. So check this out, Lucas. When I say Forex and look at these assets. Swissy Czech crown. I have 15-minute candlestick data, hourly candlestick data, 4-hour candlestick data, and daily candlestick data going back 20 years for Swiss franc Czech crown. It's millions. Millions of little just prices. Actually, to be more specific, there's no 4-hour, but I trade on 4-hour. So now you got to create an algorithm. Take all the prices of all the hourly stick candles going back 20 years for Swiss franc Czech crown, and then apply, obviously, a measure of 4 hours to it. Now, it's not that easy. You can't just multiply it by 4, because then whatever. So, nonetheless, you got to think about it, put time into it, and develop it, and then get it, and then store it, and then access it. It's pretty amazing, and every single one of these has just millions of tables. Okay, and I have to pay extra money for gold and silver. Oil's coming soon, but they didn't have enough data for me to do it. I have to pay money for all the crypto stuff. And then the stock indices. They're all different prices and all that kind of stuff. Cost me different money. And then when you post a trade plan, so that's mostly algorithm. Then the AI has to be able to sort of think. And the thinking part of the AI sits on the Amazon Web Services. So I'm paying for all this candlestick data, and it gets updated all the time. So that costs me money. And then every time the artificial intelligence thinks about your trade, I get a bill. It's like you have to feed your children. They burn energy. And if you don't feed them, they starve to death and die. I feed Aiden with money, but it needs processing power. So I just got a bill, I got a bill, like, reasonable bill. because it's been thinking. Okay. Then I got to host it. Then I have to maintain it. And then, of course, I had to build it. Yeah. So there is, right? So somewhere, right, there's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah. Sure, Lucas. Well, let's talk about it over a cocktail. Okay. Oh, and the other thing about this one, the other thing that costs money is I pay for ChatGPT 4, which is the upgraded version, and it has a better language model. And so really there's at least two different AIs working. One thinks about the trade, and then it communicates to ChatGPT 4 to write out its thoughts in the English language in the form of an email to you. I have to pay for ChatGPT 4, OpenAI, right? So, and this is free. It's amazingly complex, isn't it? Cool. Well, we're here. Let's do some work. All right. What's going on? This trader wants to buy Euro Swiss franc. Well, we just went over the fact that Quantbox says sell Swiss franc, so that's cool. Let's take a look at the price action. Okay. Down, 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 up, up, down, up, sell. But the 55 predicts a double bottom. Down. Up, 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 down, down, buy. 2155 cross makes it bullish. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, up, down, down. The only thing is this trade's late. Okay. Buy and up, 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 up. Well, I think based on the pattern, it's not going to be that quick. What else do I see? 4H, riding a 21. Pretty reasonable. It's a little late. But buy the dip, buy the dip. Yeah, that's my only concern is it's the wrong time of day. This trader is supposed to, like, how about this? I run a day trading group. And we meet right here. That's the time of day we meet for day trading. And these green boxes, which turn blue when you highlight them, okay, those are the daily buy zones. Richard, no, I don't believe that is the right thing to do. Regression analysis on the economic data? No. No, I don't believe that would work. No, it's not that kind of data set. No, no, that would not be the right way of looking at it, in my humble opinion. Candlestick data, yeah. Economic data? No. No. Because we're only measuring economic data to discern monetary policy. Economic data in of itself is worthless. So to start saying, doing regression analysis on CPI to predict the next, no, that's news trading. That's volatility trading. No, not in my humble opinion. I mean, of course, I can have it do anything. It's focused on the wrong thing. It's like scientists focusing on how to make a rocket ship go the speed of light, which is dumb. It's impossible. They should be focused on how to generate enough sort of matter to energy conversion that you can warp space-time. You can bend space, but you cannot go faster than the speed of light. So why would you focus on going faster than the speed of light? Well, we need to travel vast distances. Yeah, well, you're asking the wrong question. You should be able to warp space-time. So anyways, this trader isn't wrong. It just isn't quite right. But I mean, I can't disagree with it because they're trying to buy a dip in an uptrend. But I can tell they should have been at their charts here. And they are, so this is a swing trade. So, I mean, they're really late now. They're a full day late. They're doing the right thing, but they're way behind. So I thought these were day trades. No. These are swing trades. So if you got it, you'd be lucky. But yeah, it's just really late. Yeah, it's really late. But it's the right thing. It's just really late. Can I say it any more times? I'm just really surprised. Yeah, okay, it's just really late. All right, well, it's not wrong. It's just not good. All right. Okay. Well, Richard, again, you're asking me the wrong questions. I mean, look, you can do anything with a data set. QuantBox is not trying to predict the future. That's not its job. It will factually gather and quantify economic data so you know exactly what is happening. Okay? To me, predicting the future is the wrong focus. So I don't think that way, and so I'm not going to ask the machine to try to do it. Yeah. It's just, I don't want to know. So, yeah, I don't want these guesses. No matter how mathematically you do the guesses, no, I'm not interested. There's obviously trends, but I don't want predictive trends. I want analytical trends. So anyways. All right. So they are selling gold. Okay. Let's go in 30-minute chart. Okay. Let's see what they got. Up, 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 down, down, buy, up, 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 down, down, buy, up, 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 target. Down, 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 up, sell, down, 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 up, sell, down, 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 up, sell, down, 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 up, right? Down, down, buy, up, up. Now we're in here and a roll around. Well, I think it's going to go like this a little higher, but I'm doing my own technical analysis. I know it. It's in my brain. There was... going back to probably this low, and I covered this yesterday or the day before. On the daily, it said we were going to 2,000. On the weekly, said we were going to 2,000. On the monthly, said we were going to 2,000. I mean, we're almost there now, but I would say slightly up and then probably down. But that's my guesswork. I'm here to analyze this move. You can see it's not bearish yet. So this trader needs to be watching for bearish candles. So let me try to produce those. So if it started doing something like this, then you would sell. So funny, this person set up green candles are bearish, white candles are up. I would have had it the other way around if it was me, but anyways. So, yeah. if you get a lower high, will it come down? Yeah. But if I was advising this trader, I'd say, well, be prepared for it to go up here and then roll over. And then it'll probably lower high and then roll over. But we're getting this crosswind of we will have less inflation, currently, let's say, less inflation. So if I is falling, you don't need to own gold. But then gold is going up because we've gone risk on, which means aggregate demand. So aggregate demand goes up, which means gold goes up. So if inflation is falling, you don't need to own gold, but because inflation is falling, you're rich, so you buy more things with gold, and you get sort of this mediocrity of really rangy kind of behavior. But then if we find in the future, we haven't found it, but I do expect we will find in the future, that inflation goes back up. Okay? In particular, inflation is higher than GDP. Oh, well, then you want to own gold again. So I think we could have sort of an up and a down and maybe go all the way to 1800, but then in 1 year be back to 25 or 2,500. And we have to keep watching inflation relative to productivity. And it's going to ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. And right now the flow is inflation's falling. Don't need gold. You don't need to hedge inflation if inflation's falling. So owning gold right now isn't that smart if you're worried about inflation. But because aggregate demand is up, there's a positive demand on gold in general, or the US dollar is falling. Maybe nothing's happening to gold, but the dollar's weakening. So you can watch your dollar index. For example, I have to go out to, no, I'm going to get rid of this too. And I go to currency indices. Okay. And I say, here's my dollar index. So the dollar is losing value. Therefore, an ounce of gold is still an ounce of gold. You just need more dollars to buy it. Doesn't mean people are buying it. It just means the price is going up because the value of the dollar is falling. So there might be exactly the same amount of demand for gold, but gold is going up. Well, it's because the dollar's losing value. The gold, right? When will demand for gold really, truly pick up? I don't mean indirect aggregate demand, but straight up people are hedging inflation. Well, when inflation is higher than GDP, now you actually want to buy gold. And that's where you go from wherever gold is based on dollar prices to suddenly up to 2,500, let's say. So there's two reasons. It's like trading oil. You need to know supply side economics and demand side economics. Gold is a commodity. It's not a currency. So anyways, down. I'm going to disagree only because, I don't know the intent. All I see is down. You know what a lot of people do is they just sell because it hit some price. Well, then I'm going to have to disagree because my analysis says it's going to go higher before it drops. And this, all that kind of stuff. So if the person had drawn it like this, let me draw it differently. Because the person might actually watch this video. And I'm like, well, if you did this and then indicated a sell, I would agree. But this looks like it's just going up like a rocket ship. That's what this chart says. I mean, how do you know it's not going to do this? See, like, let me try to do this in yet another way. If you told me to sell on that white candle, let me try to incorporate even more. If you gave me this much information and said, sell, I'm like, no, no, no. But then if you said, look at this, Wayne, sell, I'd say yes. So now they're like, they give me this bullish setup and said, sell it. Why? Well, we're at a double top. Well, the way this is drawn, it's a gamble. It's like a bet. I bet you it falls from here. No, 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 no. But if it did something like this over there, then yes. So there you go to whoever posted this. Remember, all these posts are anonymous. I know what they're doing, but I can't agree to that. Ooh, pound Aussie. Buy pound Aussie. I wonder why. I'm trying to figure that out one fundamentally. That one's confusing to me. Okay, why would you own the pound? It's got an incredibly slow economy, incredibly high inflation, unemployment is starting to skyrocket, institutional investors are running away, it has the worst performing stock market in the world, but this person wants to buy it. Huh. Now they've cut out price. Come on, guys, don't cut out price. I don't know. I don't see time or price. Please don't do that. Because you're like, I'm going to buy at 191. Where's 191? Yeah. Why are they picking on this number? See, it's just really not much information. So based on what I have, there I see this or this. Now they're trying to catch that moving average. I don't like the up arrow. It makes the moving average too shallow. I don't know what moving average that is. I were to guess that's a 200 EMA. So that's fair market value, which is not an entry. So this person is like, kick it off that moving average. Well, if that is the 200 EMA and that is fair market value, then that's not how I teach people to trade. So where we are now is probably closer to a 55. So if it went up now, it would, do something like that. But catch it off this moving average in the future? No. And if they did it this far out, it's probably going to flatten, which is also a no. I don't understand this trade. I would really have to have a conversation with this person like, why? And you can't tell me MACD told you. Why would you want to invest into Great Britain? And why Aussie? Not yen, not Swissy, not like a stable funding currency. Why do you want to do a cross pair? I don't think it makes a lot of sense, but I have access to all the information in the world. I'll show you what I can do. Okay, so maybe, I wouldn't trade something like this, but maybe that's my weakness. Pound Aussie, right? It's neutral at best. Technically, it's falling. It's been rising lately. Let me zoom in so you can see this. It's been rising lately, but that's unusual. There's a slight up over the 20-year average. This is mixed. Retail's 50-50. Long, I mean, look, institutional investors, 60% short the pound and you want to buy it. And then 76% are like, no, it's a terrible trade. I don't like anything about it. Technically and fundamentally, this is not a good trade. Wow, that just ruined my morning. Now I feel bad. That's how much I don't like it. Now I feel bad. I think I want to be sick. Cool. I mean, seriously, though, guys, this is a cool tool, right? Wait till you post your first trade plan and see what happens. So it's not like you just post this and I give you feedback. No, artificial intelligence, privately with you only, gives you feedback on 3 different time frames. It's like when you get the email, you're like, a machine wrote this? Uh-huh. Well, technically, a machine had to talk to the machine that writes emails. So there's an AI that I taught technical analysis. I taught the machine technical analysis. Then we have to pull in all the candlestick data so it can look and, quote unquote, think. It has to do all the candlestick data and then in its brain build charts and then apply technical analysis. Well, it only builds the charts to share with you. So it does all the thinking. It doesn't need a chart, obviously, but we generate a chart from the candlestick data. It does the technical analysis. Then it sends the data to the other AI that knows how to write emails. That's the Chat GPT. And so now that AI says it gathers all the data from the technical analyst, and then it writes an email to you. And it knows how to write in the English language. And it says, okay, the trading AI, looked at this, and just gathers all this aggregate data, or not aggregate data, but, technical analysis, and then it writes the email because the other machine can't do it. It can only do technical analysis. So anyway, so you have these AI. So it's really like 2 partners. One is the trader, one is the analyst. Right? That's just summarizing the research and then popping it out to you. It's really cool. And it all happens in 1 second. Actually, it's a fraction of a second. It's really amazing. It can look at 1 million candlesticks, apply technical analysis on 3 different time frames, then send the analysis to the writer. Then the writer writes the email, and the whole process takes less than 1 second. And then it just takes Google 2 or 3 seconds to receive the email. Isn't that amazing, though? Like, holy schnicker-schnocker. So I could have another fancy watch, yet another fancy watch. Or I can build artificial intelligence that works for us like this. So which one is better? I built this for you to use. I charge you nothing. It cost me enough money where I could have bought myself yet another Swiss watch. Okay? This watch, made in Switzerland, but it's a French company. I know. Okay? I could have just bought another one. I built this for you. I want you to use this. I think it'll make you a better trader. Can I get a thumbs up for that? Let's take a look. This trader wants to sell euro yen. Ooh, bold. Okay. Euro is one of the stronger currencies. But I do understand that there is something going on in the ends. I've been talking about it for days. Okay, let's see what they're doing. Okay, I think if they picked a different currency, like euro's probably not the right one. Why not CAD? Why not pound? Why not Kiwi? But nonetheless, let's look. Peaked out. Okay. Lower low, lower high, roll reversal, drop it like it's hot. Yeah, there's a lot of information missing on this chart. I would say this is a price action based chart. That's cool. Okay. But we can look at my chart. My chart. My chart. And where's the euro? Okay. And I'd say this matters. That's the price in which you would look for the market to reverse. Okay? That's why I just gave you a big long speech yesterday or the day before how you need to know price action. So this is a price action chart. It can't predict, though, the reversal before it happened. So I said you can use any tool you want. All it does is help you with your statistical analysis of price action. But if you don't know price action, every tool you choose is worthless. To know one thing is to know 10,000 things. So there's the price action. That's cool. This trader knows how to use price action. I generally agree with everything on this chart. I saw it coming. I saw the bus barreling down the hill before I stepped out into the street. So I like pivot points too. Because it says this has been up all month, but the probability of that is increased exponentially. And now, should you sell this? Faux show. Faux show. Oh, faux show. So this trader doesn't have that, but they have enough. Lower low, lower high, peak, lower low, lower high. Beautifully done. Well done, trader. Well done. Yes, totally agree. Oh my God, that just happened. Cool, right? Okay, this person wants me to review their trade plan, but they're not willing to actually spend 30 seconds and putting in a real trade plan, so I'm not going to answer it. So they got feedback from Aiden, but in the next iteration of the artificial intelligence, it will tell you that you wrote in a bullshit trade plan. It'll tell you. It's like, I don't know what the hell you're doing with this selling Aussie yen, but let me tell you what I think. So it's going to call you out. It's going to call you a trading pitch. Wow, rough, huh? Told you I was in a cranky mood after that bad trade plan up there. Yeah, you can't spend 30 seconds putting in a real trade plan. Yeah. Anyways, well, there you go. So before I stick both feet in my mouth, I'll wish you adieu. I'll bid you adieu. I wish you a wonderful day. I love you. I don't mean to be mean. Okay? I'm just drawn this way. But I really hope you use tradeplans.ai because you will get to see a different way of trading than what you might be doing now. And I want you to use it in a way that you think about your trades, you ponder your trades, you set up your trades the best you can, and then you get feedback instantly from AI that says, hey, let me also look at the same exact trade that you're thinking of and show you what I would do if I was Wayne. It's pretty close. It's really good. I taught this machine. So now it's like, what if you were able to ask me before every time you make a trade, you're like, hey, Wayne, what do you think about this? Hey, Wayne, what do you think about this? Hey, Wayne, what do you think about this? And I'm like, well, let me give you feedback on 3 different time frames: short term, medium term, longer term. And I did it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. 3 o'clock in the morning, you can ping me. Hey, Wayne, what do you think about this trade setup? I will tell you what I think. My time is valuable. Guess what this service costs? 0. There's no subscription. There's no advertisement. There's no marketing. There's nothing. So instead of buying a Rolex, I built this for you. Any other YouTubers doing that, or are they all about getting a Rolex? I gave up a Rolex for you. Because I love you. You're my sweet baby. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. So please use tradeplans.ai. Please use it. Otherwise, I wasted it. A waste of money. Well, I don't want to do that. So I hope